Hi, my name is Ben Jensen, and I am the co-founder and co-CEO of Hugh Grace. I wanted to put together a message that could be shared, talking about um, why Hugh Grace exists, uh, the relevance of where we are today, talking about the strategy, where we are. There's just some really exciting stuff going on in our company, and I wanted to be able to share that. This is something that's been requested, particularly so that we can have a male speaking to a male audience also. So I'll start at the beginning. I'll start at the why. My wife and I have been married for 22 and a half years, long time. And in that time, we spent about 15 years trying to have kids unsuccessfully. And we went to all the doctors. I got to go through some really fun experiences and tests I don't even want to talk about or think about anymore, as did my wife. And we dived into the research. We dived into why is this happening? What is going wrong? At the last our last round of IVF, we finally went. It was round six, I believe. Went to the doctor and said, "What else can we do?" And what we've done everything. We spent all the money we have. My wife was doing acupuncture and changing her diet and everything. I was doing, the same. I felt a little helpless, frankly. But the doctor just started asking us. He said, "Tell me about your products. Tell me about what you're putting on your skin. What's in your house. Tell me about, um, your environment." And we said, "Well, why would that matter?" And now looking back, it matters. My wife was putting on a hormone cream on her skin, and the next day her hormones would spike. And then I started thinking, oh, wait, there's the nicotine patch, there's the pain patch. You put something on your skin, it gets in your bloodstream. And we didn't realize what impact that could have. The happy end of the story is that my sister volunteered to carry our son Hugh. So it was our genetic child, and she carried our son Hugh. And a year later, my wife's sister Michelle called up and said, "I want to try to give Hugh a sibling. I'd like to volunteer to help you guys have another baby." So she volunteered and she gave birth to our daughter Grace, and they are the namesakes of our company. And we are extremely lucky to have them, and we love being parents, and it's pretty incredible. I still feel like the luckiest guy in the world. On the other side of that, we came out the other end with knowledge, with information that the public wasn't talking about and didn't have. This was years ago, and my wife was really determined to do something about it. I'll give you my professional background. I started my career in investment banking. I worked in private equity. I worked in real estate. I went to USC. I have two master's degrees as like an MBA and then master of real estate. After that, I was recruited to GE Capital in one of their premier leadership programs. So spent a couple of years in the East Coast and then transferred back to Los Angeles, where I was hired by a large private family office, a multi-billion dollar family office. And in that role, I did everything from investing in startups, investing in established companies, buying, operating, and turning around businesses, investing in real estate, investing in funds. A lot of experience packed into a 6, 7 year window. And I learned a lot. And a lot of those lessons, you learn where opportunity is, you learn how to spot the signals for success, you learn how to avoid mistakes, or it costs you a lot of money. So what I will tell you is I'm a businessman by background. There's a few things I'm not. I'm not a professional network marketer. Sara and I did not set out to start a multi-level marketing business. We had a problem that needed to be solved. And we looked at the solution and realized that this was a problem that wasn't just about it wasn't just products. It had to be conversation. It had to be community. It had to be education. And when we looked at that, we looked at the direct selling business model and thought, this is exactly what we need to cut through the noise. We need to empower people. I was watching Facebook get more and more expensive. People were having a hard time to acquire customers in an effective manner, and realized, if we're relying on an algorithm, we never really have control over our business. But if we can help build, teach, and train people, then we can make an impact on many lives, and we can make sure we're paying the people who are doing the work and building the business with us. So I'm not a professional network marketer. This is something that we approached very humbly and did a lot of research and did a lot of questions. The first thing I did is I bought a book called Private Equity Investing in Multi-Level Marketing Companies. And in that book, it talks about success stories. It talks about failure stories. And I spent a lot of time looking at the failure stories and why. Why do these businesses succeed? And why do they fail? And what are some of the key things that create an enduring and valuable business? And some of the things that I saw was that they needed, for a business to sustain itself and to have endurance, there needs to be a mission. It's got to be something that is more impactful than just the products alone. There needs to be a problem that's being solved. Oftentimes, most successful companies have founders who are involved and on the ground and in the trenches with their people, listening, learning. It's when corporate teams kind of pull apart and start thinking they know everything and not listening to the people who are actually talking to the customers that things can go sideways. Need to have sound operating strategy, sound financial backing. We've got billionaires that have invested with us. And fortunately, Sarah and I have had success where we could do this. And so, those are the things. I tell you, so I'm not a professional network marketer. I'm not a hype man. I love to see people win, and I like to watch them win. I'd prefer them being on the stage than me. And I'm not doing this for my ego. And I say that because I worked for billionaires. I ran businesses. I flew around on private planes. I ate at some of the finest restaurants in the world. I really got to live a billionaire's lifestyle. And it was nice. It's not what drives me. I think it's important to know that because my decision making is about helping people succeed. It's really not about me. And in fact, I'm oftentimes I'm in the background just taking care of things and making sure this business runs and operates in a sound, safe, and secure manner, and work really hard at that. I have a tremendous sense of responsibility for thousands of people's livelihood or extra income. So that's a little bit about who I'm not, and then who I am as a guy who loves to see people win. I've realized I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and I have 3 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. And the thing that brought me greatest satisfaction is when I could teach or help them learn from my mistakes so they didn't have to do it again. And I got to see my next brother get full ride scholarship for academics, and my brother after that ended up playing professional baseball because he listened to me when I told him he needed to get in the weight room and he needed to do the extra work, the stuff that I didn't really understand. And I love taking that same approach and helping people succeed at Hugh Grace. So I want to share a presentation that I put together. I've given you my professional background. I shared kind of the why behind Hugh Grace. But what this experience that Sara and I went through led to was really a discovery process. At first, we looked at this and said, we need to do something about this. It needs to be a business. It can't just be a charity because it won't sustain itself. And we need to find an approach that makes sense. And initially we thought this is a fertility issue. No. As I dived into the research, and I'll show you in a second here, next to infertility, you'd see cancers, developmental disorders, all kinds of things. And I'll touch on these. And I recognized then that this was a very big market, which means there's a very big opportunity. And that's when I left a very successful career by most standards and something I really enjoyed doing, and left to create a business and a startup. So I'm going to screen share here. Right, share. There we go. Hugh and Grace, a lifestyle wellness brand supporting hormone health. All right. 1 second, let me set up here. Look, I shared with you kind of our origin story, and we created this company because it was important and because there was a need in the market for what we were looking for. We offer you the products and information that we needed, but we couldn't find anywhere. The best businesses are created from pain, from discomfort, from something that is needed. We didn't create this business for the sake of creating a, a business and then sticking some products. We had a problem, and we had to research it to find a solution, and then we had to figure out how to take it to market. And now I'm really excited to share how successful that has been. And it's been a journey. Now you get to see a picture of my wife. She's incredible. She is the heart and soul of this business. She's people, PR, promotion, passion. She has more energy than anybody I know. It's exhausting. I love it. I hate it. Um, and then you get another beautiful picture of me. So that's your two founders. I talked about this. I've got an interesting professional background that it lends itself to finding success in what we're doing. But it's not just us. We have an amazing executive team who has built and scaled really big businesses. Amanda Lawrence, she's been with us since day one, since before we had products. She saw what we were doing, got excited about it, and joined us, and is an incredible operator with us. She is actually on as a side hustle. She has topped two compensation plans at two different companies, and then she decided to go into the corporate world. So she knows both the field and the backside of things. And you've got Craig and Kelly, our sales team. Kelly, she's been with us since we launched as well. Incredible. She's the heart of the field and just has a deep care and passion for our sales field. And then Craig, he's kind of not that Kelly doesn't have brains, but he's kind of the brains of the operation. And he's done an excellent job of looking at our business, where we are today, mapping out the energy, strategizing and building. And we've found some tremendous growth through those strategies. So he's a great addition to the team. So why hormone health? The people think different things when they hear the words hormones. For some people, it's raging hormones. For some people, it's menopause. For some people, it's just testosterone. But hormones are the chemical messengers that control everything in our bodies. It says it right there. Your hormones control everything: physical health, mood, sexual health, metabolism, weight, sleep patterns, mental health. It's everything. And once we started looking at this is when it got exciting. This means that if we're addressing hormones, we're addressing the things that keep people care about most. That's what you want to be doing. The problem, most consumers still don't know that what they put in on and around their body can positively or negatively affect how their hormones perform. That's the reason why we chose direct selling as our business model or our go-to-market strategy. We did it in a unique way, and I'll talk about that, where we have been able to combine direct selling with a direct consumer experience and also have input for affiliates and retailers. And so our advocates, the people who sell our products, our advocates can sign up affiliates. They can benefit from that. They can sign up retailers. They can benefit from that. But I'll keep going. Look, it's a problem, and it's a big problem. It's costing lives. It's costing tremendous amount of cost to society, and this is something that we can do something about. The next thing, as I'm analyzing businesses to invest in, you start with a couple of things. Is the market big? Because if the market's big, you can take a small piece of it and still grow a big company. Or is the market small and you have to take a big piece of it? Taking a big slice of something is very difficult to do. I'll mention this here. If you take a look at that first quote, hormone health is the next gut health. That's interesting. So think about that. We all know the term gut health. We've heard it for 15 years now, but before that, you didn't hear the term gut health. Before then before that, you had Metamucil, right? Then you had some yogurt, and then pretty soon you start seeing probiotics showing up on yogurt. And now it's prebiotic, probiotic, symbiotic. Every single, bacteria strain in your gut does certain things, and it's getting super detailed and data oriented. But at the beginning, it was simple. It was consumer products that helped people feel better. And over time, the education occurred. I really look at where we are right now. We are in the second or third inning of the hormone health market. The gut health market is mature and it's still growing, don't get me wrong, but we're early and we have a chance to be the first movers. So is it a big market? How do you create moat? These are the things I look at as an investment. One of the best ways to create moat is get there early, gain customer trust, prove product market fit. And I'll show that in a second. That's how you know that you're headed the right direction and that you're building a business that's sustainable and will last. So how do we approach this idea of hormone health, supporting healthy hormones? This is the way we do it. We focus on products and education that can encourage these things: stress management, restful sleep, healthy weight, proper nutrients, proper hydration, daily detoxification. All of these things are the things that lead to a healthy endocrine system or healthy hormones. When these get out of whack, you get all kinds of problems. So how do we come up with these products? Do we just create them out of thin air, or do we have a strategy behind it? We have the good fortune of having pretty extensive networks that my wife and I have developed. I didn't even talk about her background. She also has an MBA from USC. She worked for USC's business school, went around the country meeting with their top alumni and parents. We're talking about billionaires, people who are naming schools and buildings and scholarships, endowing things. And so she has an incredible ability to network in. So we've collected some of the top experts in their fields in the world, and they help us as we strategize about our products that we want to take to market. So we come up with concepts. Oftentimes, those concepts come into us from our field, from our advocates. They're telling us what they need, what their customers want. We listen to that. We just released a product you'll see here, Triple Boost, protein plus hormone support. That is directly from our advocate requests. We have a listening environment and session, and we take that to action. But we start with ideas and we vet them and we take it. We go beyond just, let's look at the paper formula. We then test the finished products. So Genoa is a chemical exposure testing guru, and we do that. And then we make sure we use really good ingredients, clinically proven ingredients. A lot of times people kind of do this pixie dust stuff where they'll sprinkle a lot of things in and tell stories. We needed to make sure that we were putting sufficient quantities of the ingredients that actually have an impact so that our products, you can feel it, see it, feel the difference. And we focus on what goes on in and around our bodies, consumable products. And we'll talk why that matters in a second. So I want to talk about this. We launched, as you saw, we launched with skincare. When we launched with skincare, it kind of was a different company that we are now. Skincare, people don't use it as frequently as wellness products. So our average days to reorder at that time was about 72. In October, we launched wellness about a year later. And then this past October, we packaged up our best-selling products. We used data and we used input from our field, from our advocates, to put together a simple system that helps people feel better, look better, sleep better, have more mental clarity. And I just want to mention this. When you're looking to invest in a business, looking to align yourself in a business, you need to know that the market likes what you're doing. You don't know that until after months, not days. People need to have time to order your product and then order it again and order it again. Because if they only order once or twice, you're going to get a lot of customers. You're going to have a lot of things to fill. So we introduced the routine, and I'll show you the impact it's had. As you can see here, 109% revenue growth year over year, quarter over quarter, I should say. Our days to reorder dropped down to 35 days, increased repurchase rate, improvement in customer lifetime value. So, this is what I need to see when I want to invest in a business. Are the economics such that this business can scale, can grow, can sustain itself? If you have a low average order value, you need to sell more products to more people. We have a $126 average order value. That's 51% better than traditional traditional wellness companies or blended wellness and skincare. 51% repurchase rate. That means more than half the people who try our products, buy them again. We average 28 days to reorder, and they're buying them on a monthly basis. And I'll talk about our subscription growth next. But as you can see, we've had year over year growth. We've averaged over 100% growth since we've launched. Um, so subscription, why is this important? Well, if we can get people loving our products, buying them again and again and again, we can build sustainable revenue for the company and sustainable commissions for our advocates. So you can see here, when we launched, we didn't have products that were necessarily subscription style products. It's hard to put skincare on subscription, but when we added wellness, we've gone to more and more of our revenue. So almost 50% or over 50%, actually, slightly over 50% comes from our subscription customers. They have a 30, 45, or 60-day subscription option. You get a discount, and it's worked extremely well. Tons of customer satisfaction. And I think it's worth noting our average customers buy from us at least 4 times. That's like unheard of. And that leads to increased lifetime value. Increased lifetime value means fewer customers generating more revenue, which is super important if you're looking for a business to align yourself with. Now, when we launched, we had none of this data. When we launched, our company was different. And there's a lot of startups out there and there's a lot of hype, but it takes years to figure out if you've got it right. And when you see the metrics that I've shown you, it's super encouraging because it shows we've done the work and our numbers speak for themselves. There's no hype, it's in the data, and that's how I operate. Let's talk a little bit about some of the additional products. Now, as I mentioned, I wanted to make sure we're addressing our male audience. One of the things that is really cool right now for me, particularly, when we launch as a skincare company, our products are gender neutral, and men do use the skincare, but for, I guess kind of obvious reasons, it led to a really high proportion of our advocate base as women, which is incredible because they are incredible and they are super creative and have done amazing things. But as we've moved into the wellness category and introduced things like the routine, and show you here our newest product, Triple Boost Protein Plus Hormone Support. As we've introduced these products are products for everyone. And I think it's also important, we don't want to alienate half of the population by only offering products that are specifically only for women or only for men. Our best-selling products are gender neutral. Our best-selling products are the Hydrate Detox. And I'll show you this. It's now Triple Boost. We just launched this 15 days ago. We are selling through it way faster than I expected. I had to put an order in for reorder now. I thought we would have a lot more time. But it's incredible. So we now have products that align really well with not just women but also men. And that means our women can sell to men, and that means our men can sell to men and women. It means we have more products that are better for more people. We can help people, and we have a wider audience. The other thing that we've done recently is, as you'll notice here, back in the Hydrate Detox pouch, we had a single flavor. We have now added 2 flavors, which means we needed to think about the aesthetic. So we are, later this month, I believe, we'll have in market the Hydrate Detox Lemon Revive, which is our original. We had a limited time Hydrate Detox Watermelon Refresh. I put the packages up here also just for that look. Like, we want to make sure that these products, if somebody wants to go to the gym, they look great in a guy's gym bag or a woman's gym bag. These are beautiful products that are incredible. And then, I want to talk a little bit about the external validation. I've talked to you about why we did what we did, but it's incredible when other people talk about you, and like big other people. So we've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, Forbes. We had best men's skincare, coincidentally. We've gotten impact awards from Real Leaders. Real Leaders is a real organization, and it's very validating. The other thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that the brand we built felt looked and acted like a brand that everyone could align themselves with. We didn't want to create some cheesy brand that, you're kind of embarrassed to share, but it's a great money-making opportunity. No, we wanted something that we could all be proud of. And what we found is it's worked. We do brand activations. We have our products sold at Waldorf Astoria in Hawaii. We do collaborations with Four Seasons. Meadowood is one of the finest resorts in Napa. We've done things with W Hotels. The owner of the Minnesota Twins is one of our investors and opens up his owner suite every year. So we have 15 people that can qualify in, and we go to a Twins game in the owner suite. You can't buy that ticket. So we do really kind of cool, fun stuff that other brands just can't do. We've done this and built this brand in an authentic manner and really tried to elevate the entire direct selling experience. It's super important that people get to share products and we reward the people who share them. But it's also super important that the customers go through a purchase experience that feels like what they're used to and has a brand and aesthetic that feels like an incredible brand that happens to be powered by a direct selling business model. And I think with these partnerships and collaborations that you'll see, we've accomplished that. So I'm going to stop screen share here, and I can get over to, there we go, stop share. And just want to kind of close things out. I hope this has been helpful. I would be glad to speak to anyone who would like more information on this, particularly men. You've got an audience here. I just had a call earlier this morning. We've got an incredible business and culture here. I want to mention one more thing. I talked to a gentleman this morning who'd been at a company for a very long time. The company just changed their business model, and he's now looking for a home. And he talked about the good old days when the company was smaller and people really were collegial, right? They worked together and partnered. That is what we have at Hugh and Grace. We have such incredible community here of support, and that will only stay that way if we recognize the things that make that community work the right way. So, in addition to our leadership advisory council, so that's made up of 8 different advocates from different types, different spaces, kind of a cross section of the business. So some people who are new, some people who are established and top tier, people in the middle, amazing sellers, people deep on the science. We have that, and we create listening sessions where we listen and get feedback on what are we doing well, what do you need, what should we do more of, what should we do less of, and where should we be going. We run down product ideas. We run with them. We do listening sessions. And that is something that we've done from day one, because one of the things we've heard over and over again is the company lost its way because it stopped listening to the field. Just to be clear, that's not something that is done without the founders. Sara and I, just earlier this week, we had an hour-long call where we sat, discussed, listened, talked about our roadmap and our strategy, the energy map for the year, got ideas about incentives. That's part of our culture. We are a listening culture. If that goes away, we will lose our way. So that is something we established early on. It'll never change. Another thing that we've done to really help kind of keep that culture, because products and money will bring somebody into a company, but it's the friendships and the culture that will keep them there or push them out. So that is extremely important for us, and we work on it hard. One of the things that we do that I think is a little bit unique, when we have our annual conference, we just had it last month, Elevate. It was incredible. It was in Nashville. It was incredible. We just left, everybody had a great time. I think our survey was like close to a 5 out of 5. But we do recognition, and we recognize, of course, the top in sales and the top recruiting, the top teams, and the top stuff. But one of the things that I think is unique is we also recognize the company values. And those aren't based on metrics. Those are based on values. They're based on demonstration of what is important to our community. And I think I mentioned at the beginning, our kids are named Hugh and Grace. Hugh means heart, mind, and spirit. Grace means goodness, generosity, and love. And those are our company values, and we recognize those. So we recognize people who demonstrate heart, and maybe they don't have, they haven't accomplished, but they're there, they're showing up, they're helping. Mind, people who are coming up with creative solutions. Perhaps they've come and given us a solution to something that the company needed, and we can recognize them for that. Again, it's based on their contribution in that category. Heart, mind, spirit, who's there with the heart, who's lifting other people, goodness, generosity, and love. So each one of um, those words, those concepts are recognized. What gets recognized gets done, gets ingrained, and we see that and have done that from the beginning. So I'll leave you with this. Look, there's a lot of turmoil and tumult with companies that have been employing direct selling models. There's a lot of reasons for that. Companies that are publicly traded oftentimes make decisions that appease Wall Street that may not be in the best interests of the business, and they have to do that. Other companies I've seen have sold or gotten rid of their direct selling model recently. Rodan and Fields did it. Look, they're owned by private equity. That private equity fund has been in there for 15 years. Private equity funds have to return their capital to their investors. So they're probably gearing up to sell. And what they could do is re-engineer the balance sheet and the P&L so that they can get a higher multiple and sell the company for a better value than had they get left it alone. These are the kind of things that I think about all the time. Our goal and our vision for the future is to build this company into something that we can all be so proud to be a part of, can make a differences in people's health, wellness. The other part of it is we also bring this community. People have never been more connected, but studies show that people have never been more depressed and more alone than they are today. One way to combat that is to have real relationships, people who got your back. That's what we have at Hugh Grace. And we welcome people who want to bring themselves to this and help build out the culture and the company the way we're doing it. We're entering Canada this year. We have international expansion plans. We have every intention of building this into a very large company and a profitable company, one that everybody gets to benefit from, and it's not driven by external influences that are forcing business decisions that aren't the best for the business or the field. So I'll end with that. I appreciate you tuning in. Would welcome you to join us at Hugh and Grace, and hopefully get to talk to you soon. Thanks.